Hello. This is Dr. Isabelle Amigues from Unabridged MD. I am a rheumatologist and a former stage 4 cancer patient. My hope is to bring you hope, driven by science. Today, we're going to talk about a different approach to disease. This is a very important topic that is very dear to me. Because really, if there is one thing I have learned during my own cancer journey, is this new approach to disease or conditions. So I want you to first be very open-minded. We're going to approach this in a very different way, a way that I do not think all physicians can see, and a way that not all patients can see. If you haven't yet seen the episode on fear and the episode on positive thought, which isn't about positive thoughts, I welcome you, and I think really you should see this before looking at this episode, because I'm building on this. We are going to discuss the importance of seeing your disease as something more than just a disease. And I'd like to offer some element of hope when it comes to a condition. So as a physician, every day in my practice, I diagnose new conditions. As a physician, I also deal with patients who have had conditions for a very long time. What I have found as a physician as well as a patient is that the patients that are in complete fighting mode are the patients that have a tendency to respond the less to medication. And so I've been thinking about this, and I haven't yet done some studying, but it's really something that I would be interested in to study. I've been thinking about this, and as you may know, my history is that I approached the cancer as a friend that was here to tell me and to teach me something, and that as any good friend, the moment that I would understand, not the moment necessarily, but when I would understand what they were here to tell me, then they would go away. And of course, I helped them to go away with medication and with, all of the actions that I took, including diet and exercise and so on. But I really learned something by doing this, which is that I learned to see our conditions not as enemies. And the reason it is so important is that we do not want to use our energy, our body energy, to fight a disease that's our own. Meaning, you have to make peace with your own body. If you have kids, you will understand this analogy. Or if you have friends, you will understand this analogy, and everyone has friends, all of you. We usually are less harsh on people that are not us, meaning we're usually much more willing to accept the fact that our kids or our friends are not perfect. And I engage you to start thinking of your body the same way. And so I'm letting this, sink in, because it's so important, is be a friend to your body. Your body is doing its best, all right? And it needs help. And if you're fighting, you're losing that energy instead of healing. And of course, we all have different ways of approaching a condition. And I'm not saying that you're like, oh yeah, sure, I should get more rheumatoid arthritis, or I should get more inflammation, or if I have cardiovascular disease, I'm going to eat even more fatty food and so on. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that if you're angry and if you're upset that you have a condition, don't let it consume you, because that will not help, all right? What helps is to be very open and to query, what are you here for? What are you teaching me? Because we can learn from absolutely every single situation. I'm taking a deep pause here because I know this is a very hard idea. It's not easy to think of your condition as a friend. But it really does make it easier to take care of. Because if you have a kid that suddenly goes AWOL and suddenly goes crazy and does wrong things, beating your kid is not going to do anything. And so I invite you to try to approach the condition you have with compassion and love. And I know it's hard, and I know it's not necessarily easy, and I know it takes some time to think about this. And I also know, and I'm very vulnerable here when I share this, because when my patients come, they want to be fixed. They want their condition to go away. And I want it too. And I want it for all of you who have condition. But the truth is that I believe that the energy we use to fight our diseases is energy that could potentially be lost. Instead, let's use the energy to heal ourselves, to help those conditions go away. So again, very important, I'm not saying let it consume you. No. What I'm saying is learn what it has to teach you. Like, you can learn, all of us can learn from different experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, and try to understand what your body needs. Give him space. Give your body some space. And if your body created a disease, my supposition in my world of rheumatology, I do believe that we have the power of returning to the place we were before, and sometimes even better than before. And that my role as a rheumatologist is to bring and to help my patients to get medications that will get them there. But if in the process of going for this disease, you can learn from it, then you can see how suddenly, instead of being in a world that's very gray, very dark, very sad, very angry, very negative, you can actually turn this experience into something that's actually beautiful. It takes time, and it takes compassion towards yourself. It takes you learning how to love yourself, and it's not easy. And the only way that I want to share, like the only way that I can see, that I can share, is to just imagine that every cells that are in your body are trying their best. They have your DNA. They are all a part of you. And the same way that you would love a kid that is yours unconditionally, you may want to learn how to love unconditionally your body. Once you've learned how to love unconditionally your body, you do not get as angry as before. Whether it's a joint pain, whether it's because you've broken a bone, whether it's because you've twisted an ankle, whether it's because you have an inflammatory arthritis or a lung disease, whether it's because you have a skin disorder, whether it's because you have a cancer, suddenly you realize that your body has done its best and that you're here to help your body, and that the role of the physician is here to help you help your body. And the role of all the energy healers that you may have around you, all of your family, all of your loved one, is to help you heal your body. This is probably the most powerful video that I'm sharing with you, but I really wanted to share this because I think it's very important that we learn this new way of taking care of our condition, and fighting does not do good on our body because it puts you in a stress mode, in a flight or fight reaction. And you could use this energy into what we call a parasympathetic system, which is really the system that puts you down. Like we discussed this during the meditation, during the brief episode. It's the parasympathetic system that really helps with the healing, right? And if you can get into that healing space, it helps you heal your body. There is a lot to learn from every single experience. You can also learn when you're angry, and that's actually really important as well. Why are you angry? Why are you upset? Why are you sad? Why are you feeling all the feelings that you have? Put them down, write them, think about them. And then ask yourself this question: how can I help my body to heal? All right, so this was a very deep episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure it may have shaken some of you. It shook me because I had never seen a disease like anything else than an enemy that I needed to wipe out with my medication. But my approach to my patients since has changed, and I have seen the power of understanding, of compassion, of empathy, of loving. And the power of loving is extremely important. And I do feel that we can get to the bottom of a condition with love and with understanding. And if that can help you, then that would make me so happy, because my goal is to bring you hope. And it is driven by science. There is science behind this. Parasympathetic system, sympathetic system, right? And there is even more science if we look into it. Well, with gratitude, please comment, share, like this episode, and subscribe. Again, I'm Isabelle Amigues, and this is from Unabridged MD. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.